What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be reviewing and showing you how to play the game Space Base. Now in Space Base, you're going to be hosting a fleet of ships, and you're going to be able to purchase different ships that are going to have different abilities on them, and the ultimate goal you're going to have is to try to reach 40 or more points. So let's check it out. So in Space Base, you're going to attempt to become the first player to get to 40 or more points. Right over here, you're going to start with a fleet of ships, and they're going to be numbered 1 through 12, and you also have a set of dice here. The cards themselves are going to have the number associated with the die. This is going to be the amount of money you will be able to earn on your turn if you roll this particular number. And then this is going to be the amount of money you're going to get if your opponent rolls a number if this ship is deployed. Some of these cards are going to have different symbols on them. This one is an economy symbol, which I'll talk about. And then we have a card over here that has a rocket symbol. There's also several different types of abilities on some of these cards, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Over here you have 3 tracks. You've got your income track, you've got your economy track, and you also have your victory point track. You're going to be earning money throughout the game by whatever you roll and whatever your opponent rolls. This is going to be the amount of money that you're going to be able to spend to purchase ships from this area over here. Now, after you end up purchasing ships, you're going to move this all the way back down to 0. However, if you are able to move your economy tracker up like so, anytime you have to move it all the way back, you're going to move it to the beginning of wherever the economy track starts. And then right here, this is going to be your victory, and you're going to move this up as you are achieving victory points in the game. So in the beginning, everybody's going to go ahead and start with 5 income. You've got your level 1 ships here, level 2 and level 3. The main difference is going to be the cost. These are going to be the cheaper ships, and these are going to be the more expensive ships, and you're going to be able to do more with the different ships depending on their cost. So for example, let's just say I decide I'm going to go ahead and buy this card. This card costs 4. So I'm going to go ahead and move this all the way back down to 0. And then I'm going to go ahead and deploy the card number 9, which is over here. I'm going to put it behind the board like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and replace it with this card. So now if a 9 is rolled for me, I'm going to go ahead and gain 3 victory points. If an opponent rolls a 9, I'm going to gain this. So on my turn, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the dice like so. And I've rolled a 1 and a 3. So I can go ahead and collect the reward from the 1 and a 3, or I can add them up and get the reward from the 4. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and collect 2 income here, and I will have the opportunity to purchase a card from the middle. I could purchase this card, so let's just say I decide I'm going to purchase this one right here. This one costs 2 coins, so I'm going to move this all the way back to the beginning, and it goes in space 8. I'm going to go ahead and place this here, and then place this card here, and now it's going to go to my opponent. So let's just say my opponent happens to roll an 8. I'm going to look here, and I have a deployed ship at 8, so I'm going to go ahead and move this up. My opponent will go ahead and take his turn, and of course, anytime you buy a card, you're going to go ahead and replace it with the next card in the deck. So let's say on my next roll, it's my turn. I'm going to go ahead and roll, and let's say I roll a 10. Right here, this is an economy point, so I'm going to go ahead and move this here. And then again, I'm going to go ahead and have the opportunity to buy a card. Now, if I decide not to buy a card, this cube is going to stay where it is. It's not going to have to move all the way back. Let's say on a future turn, I ended up rolling a 9, and I decided to go here. This will give me 3 victory points, so I'll go ahead and move there. Now, there are certain cards, and I'll go ahead and show you some that are going to have these different symbols on them. These are going to be abilities. And then you also have cards that are going to have a blue square on them. These are what are called charge cubes. So let's just say I happen to have this card over here. Now you'll look at it and it'll say exchange this card with any other card on your board. And it'll also have the same in the deployed side. So let's just say I happen to have this card over here, for example. Now if I ended up rolling a 9, I would have an opportunity to put a charge cube over here on this square like so to use for later. And on a future turn, if I rolled, say I've rolled a 7 or something like that, one thing that I would be able to do is replace one of these dice with removing the charge cube. And so since I will move the charge cube, I will now be able to go ahead and play this action. And here's a list of all the cards that have the different abilities on them and also the charge abilities. So if I ended up purchasing a colony card and placing it on here like this would grant me 4 victory points automatically. However, if I am buying any cards from here, I'm not going to be able to put them over here. This is going to be closed off to new ships. So anyway, the game is going to progress with everybody taking a turn, and the ending is going to be triggered once somebody is able to get 40 or more points. Everybody else will take one more turn, and whoever has the most amount of points is going to win. This game is a favorite from one of my gaming groups. They love this game. They always say, if there's ever a time we don't know what to play, we'll just play Space Base. I really enjoy Space Base. This game reminds me of an older game called Shut the Box. If you've ever played Shut the Box, you're going to be rolling dice and then you're going to be knocking out numbers that are synonymous with the dice, and this kind of uses that element in there. It's very cool. The game has a lot of different cards, and you're going to be getting different rewards from the different cards. And then, of course, you also have the option to try to use the cards that have the special abilities on them and the charge cubes. Now, they're a little bit more complicated to use, but once you start to use them, you're going to start to see the benefits. And I really enjoy the fact that you can play along with this game, even if it is not your turn. You can collect rewards from your deployed ships. And it's a very easy game to learn. It takes probably about 5-10 minutes tops to teach somebody how to play it. And it looks a lot harder than it actually is, but it's a very easy game to learn, and it's a fun game. There's definitely some strategy in the game. Mainly, you're trying to just get as many ships deployed as you can. This game has a really good balance of things. You've got your dice roll, so that's going to have an element of randomness into it. You have strategy, because you're going to have to try to figure out which ships you want to deploy, which ships you want to try to get, if you want to try to save money to get ships, and also what kind of abilities you're looking for. And there's a lot of different ones that you can choose from. Definitely replayable. This is a game that has like a lot of different cards, and the game's going to get changed up every time you play it. It's a very enjoyable game. I would definitely recommend it. All right, guys, that's my review of Space Base. We'll see you later. Keep on gaming.